Good morning, everyone. It's April 11th, 2018, here at Zero Hedge, on the threshold of war with Paul Craig Roberts. Of course, I didn't have any doubt, as Mr. Roberts says, there's no longer any doubt that the criminally insane government in Washington is driving the world to the last war. Well, I highly doubt that it will be the last war. It will probably be a long time before the next one, I'll tell you that. Okay, so most of you know that the Assad regime was falsely accused of launching another chemical attack. This time they allegedly used chlorine gas. And of course, there are many people already said that it never happened in the first place. It makes me wonder about a lot of things that supposedly happened. For example, the latest shooting there in Florida. For example, the shooting there in Las Vegas. Now, they have this technology now where pretty much they can put anything together they want and make you believe it's real. I mean, they got computer programs now that can make faces, and you can't tell the difference between the computer face and the real face. And this is a problem, a really big problem. How do we know what is real and what is not? Maybe that's the point. Maybe that's the point. Maybe we're not supposed to know which is real and which is fake. I don't know. All I do know is they have this capability. So, the latest fake news about the chemical attacks in Douma was reported yesterday. These reports are again referenced to the notorious white helmets. They're supposedly a humanitarian group, but they are strongly tied to the so-called U.S. rebels there in Syria. So, again, it's all just a bunch of bullshit. And I watched a very passionate video by Stefan Molyneux yesterday, and he was really on point and really powerful in what he said. I wish I could muster the same words or something similar and as articulate as Mr. Molyneux, but my words are not going to be so graceful. Mr. Molyneux said in his video that he was begging President Trump not to do it. And before he said that, he talked about how his great-grandmother was turned into mist by some asshole 20 miles away. That's a scene to put in your head, isn't it? You know, you're standing next to your loved one, maybe your daughter or your wife, and next thing you know, they're just missed on you. Just missed. Nothing left. Nothing. No body to bury. No body to burn. Just missed. And that'll happen to a lot of people. If this war breaks out, they'll turn into mist. You know, if you play Call of Duty and you shoot somebody in your head, you see the mist come out of the back of or front of the exit of the bullet trajectory. Well, the big ass shell hits you, that's your whole body. Your whole body turns into mist. Now, he thinks the only way to stop is by begging. Just stop it. You know what I say. You know my position. The only thing that's going to stop these people, and make no mistake about it, Donald Trump is a deep state person. He has to be. I mean, when in American history has a candidate won without the deep state? Or should I say, without the support of the deep state? The only thing to do before these people kill us, most of us, is to capture, try, and execute the guilty. That's it. That's the only thing that can stop our insane government from killing us all. But then you have the psychopaths over there in Europe to deal with. At least they're in Europe, though, and not here on the North American continent. Still have the psychopaths over there in Canada, but I think that they're probably very little threat to the people of America. No, our people are at the center of all of the terrible, terrible things that happen in this world. And the only people that can stop it are us. Undoubtedly, if I had a large channel and I said these things, some alphabet soup agency would show up at my door and arrest me for saying a lot of what I say. And you know I would be. Perhaps that's the reason why I got slapped down the way I did. I don't know, but I do know that we got to get rid of these people. I don't even think they're people. How can they be? I mean, what kind of human being wants to kill children? What kind of human being says, it's okay? It's okay. It was worth it. It was worth killing 500,000 children. What kind of human being says something like that? Does something like that? More importantly than that is, why are we allowing these things to do a tenth of what they've done, to do a 20th of what they've done. Why? So, we recently warned of the possibility of such dangerous provocations. The goal of these absolute unsustainable lies is to protect the terrorists an irreconcilable radical opposition that has rejected a political settlement, as well as to justify the possible use of force by external actors. Now, Russia has already said that it's not going to go down the same way this time. If any of their people get killed, they're going to retaliate. But here's the thing. Russia, they're moving assets to Syria. Meanwhile, you have troops and equipment surrounding Russia. I mean, totally surrounding. When Russia makes their move in Syria, all these troops are going to go pouring over the border of Russia. They're going to go pouring over it. And their justification doing so is the Salisbury event, where a double agent was poisoned by something. At least that's what we're being told. Again, we don't know the difference between the truth and the lie anymore. When the rule of law was destroyed in Salisbury, London, and The Hague, and the rule of fraud declared in Washington, that leaves only the rule of force in the world. The Stavka, and that's the highest command of the Russian armed forces, met in Moscow on Good Friday and is ready. The Foreign Ministry announced on Sunday the gravest consequences. This means one American shot at a Russian, and we are at war. Not infowar, not cyber war, not economic war, not proxy war. World war. But we're already actually in a world war. I mean, think about it. We have Yemen going on. We have Syria going on. There's shit going on in Egypt, in Iraq, and many other places. Many other places. And as I said a few videos ago, the best time for us to capture the monsters of Washington and the state capitals is while all the troops are gone. That is, before they use the United Nations troops on us. Perhaps they'll roll those troops out as the war begins. But who knows, right? I can only imagine what's going to happen when all of our warships are over there, most of our soldiers, And civil unrest begins here. How many people do we know that are going to turn into mist? The Russian view is simple. The West is ruled by a gang of thugs supported by an infinitely lying, hypocritical media, while the general public in the West has been hopelessly zombified. Hopelessly zombified. I couldn't have put it better myself. Hopelessly. Perhaps that makes making these videos wasted effort. Because after all, as they just said, hopelessly zombified. You know how painful it can be to be one of those people who see it, who get it, who understand it. It can really get to you sometimes. You look at your little girl riding her bike, something she enjoys tremendously, and there's that lingering thought in the back of your head. Is some asshole gonna push a button and turn us into a shadow on the ground? I mean, you know why I stopped reading these articles to y'all? Because you already know. We already know. This has been going on for years. I've been talking to all you people for years now. There's no longer any point. I mean, I read the articles and I can summarize them, but you know as well as I do. Especially those of you who stuck with me after my channel went down. You know, and you watch because you know I'm probably right. Probably. Now all you have to do is look at the steps that's been taken over the last 100 years to understand. With each major event, like the one we're talking about now, we step that much closer to world annihilation. And one of these times, if it's not this time, one of these times, that event will turn much of the world into a radioactive wasteland. And the producers of the nuclear weapons love to say how overstated the damage would be, but can you really trust the manufacturers of fucking nuclear weapons to tell you the truth? Can you? Can you trust Donald Trump to tell you the truth? Can you trust any of them but maybe a very, very small handful. Enough people, to tell you the truth, you can count on one fucking hand. Because all these people in Washington are nothing but lying sacks of shit. And that's how they got there. Because they're lying sacks of shit. They lied to the people in their state. They lied to themselves. They lied to everybody. Like I said, we need a resistance. And we need one now. We need a big resistance. If we don't have one, if we don't get one, the consequences are going to be dire. And if you don't think a resistance can make any difference, I point you to France during World War II and other areas. A resistance can make all the difference in the world, but we sit here in our lazy chairs with our feet up, drinking our fucking beer, doing our drugs, watching our televisions or playing our video games without a care in the world. Little do we know that somebody, maybe even everybody we know, will end up vaporized or turned into some fine mist that sprays all over us. I don't know about you, but it doesn't sound like a very good time to me. We're not talking about the world or the wars of the past, where the damage was concentrated in the middle of the field, and 50,000 men got killed by swords and horses died. We're talking about nearly every body on the planet. All of the cities annihilated. That's what we're talking about. And we don't need a resistance? I beg to differ. We've needed resistance a long, long time ago. I'm not talking about some militia, because they're statists. I'm talking about a resistance with the only goal in mind. The only goal to topple and keep that government toppled. That's it. That's the only goal it should have. And it should be done by any means necessary. It's not just the lives of Americans that are hanging in the balance, seemingly anyway. It's everybody. Everybody. Anyway, hope you all have a great day. Kill the state before the state kills you.